the Xfinity analyst desk. We're going to be rocking and indeed rolling with our next one. It's going to have to be quick, though. We do have SK versus Mongols. I'm joined by Nothing and Spun J. Gents, speed, agility, quickness, summary of this matchup. Chad, jump in.
Dr. Disrespect?
Number 1 in the world versus, I believe, number 116.
Jesus.
The underdog is real. There's nothing else you can really say about this matchup. SK right now, they've had 2 games which were comebacks. One was in double OT. They had to really try hard for those wins.
Yeah.
They had to pull them out of their back pocket. But Mongols, they've put up some decent numbers against the teams they've played thus far. But you can't really go into this one preaching to the fact that they can have any chance in this matchup. It shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the case. Honestly, I didn't see the roster. I saw the C9 versus Mongols game, and I saw Machine Gun, and I was like, that guy's nuts.
Zilkenberg, Mara, NCL, and Sugo.
Wait a minute.
Damn.
Mate, it was from my region. I gotta.
You are a gangster.
Oh, yeah, you had some showdowns.
Yeah.
Against these.
Yeah, they beat us.
In where would you guys fly? Minor? You would go up to like Singapore.
Well, I mean, they did just actually
Malaysia,
lose.
maybe.
They did just lose to Renegades in the minor as well. They're still doing damage.
To qualify for this event, they had to beat Chiefs, I believe it was, that Australian.
Chiefs
Okay.
are not bad, right?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Well, let's roll on with those vetoes. Time is limited, but we can go ahead and quickly understand exactly where this one's going. I mean, if you're the underdog, is there a particular approach to a best of 1 veto? You're just trying to get rid of
other team's worst map.
Yeah.
You want to get it there. Yeah. Good luck. Get best of luck.
And it doesn't look like that's going to happen. The one thing that Mongols does have on Mirage is, a couple years worth of material to look at on SK.
Yeah,
that's true.
Now, not that's going to help their chances
not
at all.
particularly.
Because you need a game plan to eliminate said defenses.
You can look for tendencies and you can try to exploit them, but overall you need your own game plan and your own style to actually mold in the other.
This is what's big for
Last
me on
point,
this
too.
map. Last point. Mid control. If Mongols can't get mid control and Cold Zero is able to do what he wants off catwalk like he does, they're not going to get more than 3 rounds.
You've got a lot to fear. coldzera, Fur as well, can be an absolute horrible human being to play against on Mirage. It's going to be fun to watch all the same for SK fans and maybe even for the Mongols. Let's check in then as the underdogs take on the number 1 seed.
It's nice to see the Mongols here again. It's been a while since we've actually had this roster on either North American or European soil, and I think it's important that they get this exposure. I'm curious myself to see exactly how they can respond.
We had Machine Gun over in North America for a little while.
True,
playing for Splice. Didn't really work out for him, but he's back in the team I think he belongs in. It's a bit of a mismatch, I guess, in the sense that SK are number 1 in the world. We've got Mongols at 114th. But we'll see whether they can cause some damage today. And I don't think an upset will be coming through, but if they can get the double digits, I'll be very impressed. We'll get into the first round here. A couple of smokes and flashbangs up against the mighty SK Gaming here. Looks like they'll finish up towards A with a bit of a split going on with 2 players at the A ramp for the bomb. And for now, waiting for aggression towards the B apartments, which could be coming in. First bit of damage coming through. Fur tag down to 72. And we'll start to line up the smokes here. This one lands on top of the steps.
Ooh, Taco. This is so good for Cold, though, because even though he takes damage, Cold sits behind him, only gets one of the 2 that goes by, but peeks out to find Machine Gun, I should say, not Alex, as well.
They didn't go into the A bomb site with that.
They brought it back.
What's the point?
Yeah, you're right. I don't understand that at all. The call was made based on the fact they got an entrance and not even a kill. And they realized it, too, because instead of going to the apartments, they swung through Horseshoe, and now You've instantly realized their mistake.
It's a double fake what they're doing. Like they did smokes towards A, show presence at B with the bomb waiting at A. So you might as well commit. You've lost everyone. And they run back towards middle. And they might actually get a plan out of this, We have got A RAM presence coming through from NCL. But down he goes. A nice shot as Fallen picks up the final frag. A little bit of a weird one there. I can't really explain that to you too much. It was a bizarre turn of events. The fact you getting towards B, sure, it's gone horribly wrong, but still, try and get that bomb down towards A. That's just going to be your main objective. You got to hope you forced everyone out of position at the A site and try and plant. It's a peculiar move, I have to say. Bomb does not go down, so we'll see a force buy here from the T's in the second round. The Mongols. Some of these names I haven't seen before. I'm interested to see how those go down. I'm only familiar with Machine Gun, I'm not going to lie.
Sugu. Down by Fur. NCL Taco inside of the apartments. Pretty straightforward for SK. It could be a quick game. We're not sure. I don't know what to expect. to be completely honest. I've not seen the Mongols in probably over a year.
Indeed. I reckon this is going to be a 16-4. And I think I'm going to be dead on. I'm very confident. Force spy didn't really work out for the Mongols. They'll be on full eco here. And there will be bolts to light them up. Top and middle. They're trying to do damage in return, but it's not really working out too well for them. It should be a clean sweep here. The bomb down towards top and middle. And Fur finishes things off. He is very good at the MP9. So far, so good. This is the bonus round and a half, isn't it? 3 MP9s, a UMP, and an M4. Do we upgrade to the AWP? Excuse me. Do we upgrade to the AWP? That is the question. Fallen has the answer. And the answer is no.
Fair enough. Might as well take any advantage you can get against the Mongols early on if you want to try and win this game early.
I guess in this sort of mismatch, like, they're happy to take these sort of risks. It's pretty much a 95% guarantee SK going to win this game. So they can experiment with some interesting ideas, like 3 MP9s in the first gun round.
And CL tries desperately. A shot toward the A site. Mara, yeah, not seen him before, but finds Fur. He's new to the roster. Newer, I should say, to the roster. In our time, originally seeing Mongols. Fallen will jump forward to grab the AK-47 at the very least. So Machine Gun's death does add some firepower to the SK side. Gets for the MP9 as a result. Taco knows that Mara's gone inside of the window room. Oh, that's poor timing, unfortunately, for Mara. Little did he know. Interestingly, Taco's got to jump across to get the gun, but it matters not. The smoke is there. No one will find an angle from Catwalk as a result, and it's now back over toward A, where further kills are required. And I hate to say, but a player that far forward in Palace, Fallen, just waiting to hold an angle with Zilkenberg walking directly toward him. I imagine this is a quick execution from Fallen. Or, okay.
How'd he hit that?
That's ridiculous.
Well, now that's a chance. It's up to Bolts now to at least find one. Doesn't struggle with the first. Sugu goes down. They still need to plant him. And this kill might decide it. What a lineup that is from Bolts, though. It was Fallen that gave them an opportunity after allowing... Are you?
I'm hearing that,
okay.
yes, but we'll carry on.
But I just want to make sure I can be heard. Bolts to spray them down and finish things off. Quite comfortable. That's a full-on bonus round. 3 MP9s, a UMP, and an M4, and they're coming on top. That's quite impressive. Another eco for the Mongols. And this could be a very quick game indeed. We'll reserve judge. The thing is, it's so difficult to gauge how well Mongols are doing in this sort of matchup. That they're never going to beat SK Gaming. That's just not going to happen. So to know where they stand in Europe, like from one map here, it's really difficult. You can't really review these sort of demos when it will get to the point where SK will start pushing them a lot and outskitting them like Fur's doing right now in T-Spawn for some reason. He'll get there, but taken down by Sugu. I have to wait in T-Spawn for the frags to come in. They do manage to collect the M4. Machine Gun has showed us some impressive stuff in the past over the last couple of years. Let's see if he can pull anything out of the bag today.
So good looking to try and get an angle toward connector. So get NCL down, even though it looked like he might get the better of Bolts, who was overcommitting on a wide peek toward Palace. But he's looked very sharp so far in this event for SK. SK 2-0, by the way. Mongols 0-2. This game essentially could decide the fate for either team and whether or not they make it through or not. I imagine Mongols will not overall, but it could seal that now. AWP for Fallen, still carried over.
Their money must
They'll be menacing, but there is one brought out on the other side.
Yeah, they're like, round number 6, they're like sitting very pretty. 5 digits and 2 players. We'll get into round number 6. Zilkenberg with the AWP. AK-47s for the other 4 players. Zilkenberg with no utility, just a note. A bit of duel there from the connector. Bolts at spot 1, but can't find the kill. Does damage towards Machine Gun. In terms of the setup, we have got a firm default from the Mongols right now. 2 at the A side, 1 holding middle, 2 watching the B apartments. Sugu focusing on the underpass there. They have got the utility for an execution. 3 smokes available. And it's Zilkenberg trying to open things up towards the B side of the map. Molotov out of position for now. And Sugu, like we said, watching the underpass and seeing if he can get anything going in their favor. quite a lot of discipline from both sides here. I'd expect more aggression from SK here, but they're just holding up and making sure they do everything correctly.
Nade should be enough, and it is. Zilkenberg, even though he's in the doorway, that's exactly where the nade lands. Good re-peek from Machine Gun there to bring it back to Fours. Ooh, and Fallen, he's got to be careful. Forward finds Mara, and he knows that they're going to be coming in from A-main, but can't flick fast enough. NCL just ever too close, as Sugu in the side of middle will get taken out by bolts. But it's NCL in a 1 versus 2.
He has got the bomb, and an incendiary throws it towards jungle. Could easily get a plant in here, but he's going for glory. He's head towards CT spawn. Nice shot. Goes to the plant now. It's in the open, and Taco could strike at this point. It's pretty much guaranteed he wins the round. Good plant, good attempt, but Taco, same position as teammate. NCL didn't see it coming. Had no time to really consider that as an option. We'll find Fallen Zorp, and that will be 6-0. We're collecting everything. Going on a bit of a scavenger hunt. What are we looking for now? I guess more utility on the ground.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the plan is. Just go defuse. Taquito. I suppose if they're really, if it were a closer game,
so much money, right?
Yeah, exactly. If it were a closer game, I could totally understand that. But
let's have a look at the.
Hey, it's a good mentality. Why not?
$16,000 for Taco.
Yeah, didn't really need those nades.
14,000. Yeah, they are absolutely fine. But every little counts. So you know, fair play. He's playing to win. He wants to make sure he's not giving anything away. What a nade that is! That's a touchdown and a half. Good lord, Fur. Nothing but net. And we'll get into round number 7. Of course, with the bomb down, a maximum loss bonus, MongolZ can keep buying it. Go to the underpass. Bit of aggression now from the CTs for the first time. Fur waits patiently for anyone to come nearby. Got a little bit of utility. 3 smokes again, 3 Molotovs, and flash towards middle. Fallen tries to find the first pick here. Players on the other side of the connector. Towards the A ramp of he's up to it again. What an easy pick that is. Why is Mara considering connectors just completely open? Oof. Hard to watch at the moment. And Fallen spot a bother, but the round is absolutely fine. A no-scope comes through as well. He's putting on a bit of a show for us today. I wish I could say to you that was an unlucky round for MongolZ, but
it really wasn't.
No, they were offering themselves on a plate. Fallen probably couldn't believe his luck that as a player with his back turned, this position here, like, what's he up to? You can't do that.
No, you really can't. If you had someone else contesting in connector
if you had
for
someone
you,
in there or a smoke
sure,
down.
Exactly. Which and there's the 2 people immediately. What's that? 3 seconds after. So the timings just aren't there. I mean, it's yeah. If you're the first one around, you need to be aware of that by communication or even just looking at the radar.
Well, you do hate to see it. 7-0. MongolZ struggling, no bomb down. Even the maximum loss bonus, you have to eco eventually on the T side, so this will be a little partial buy with the Eagles and armor.
Have we seen many smokes toward top connector? I think I've seen 1 at jungle, and that's it.
Yeah, haven't seen much.
I mean, even if you smoke that and you want to go first and bypass it to get toward ladder room.
We've had questionable decision-making from MongolZ, especially that pistol as well. We saw what happened there, like, goodness gracious. The fact they went all the way back round after setting the bait out. It's Fallen and Bolts doing work in middle. It's Bolts from the connector.
Yeah, but that's a lack of catwalk smoke. They're throwing the deep smoke toward the window and then not doing anything to contest connector. Bolts didn't even have to leave to go into middle to get that kill.
It's true. They are pretty much eco here, but we do get a kill here. Sugu and Fur. How is Fur on these positions every single round? He's like in that spawn every time.
He's becoming like more Snacks-like than Snacks was.
Yeah,
like he's so good at pushing out in games like, especially games like this. To be fair, Machine gets 1 on cold, but Fur is about to strike, and Mara, I'm afraid, is going to be the victim. Leg shows, he knows he's there. He'll drop in. Oh, I think Mara
spots him.
He should have been able to spot him. I think Fur was about to kill him anyway, and then realized, hang on, he's not reacting. But Fur takes down Mara. They've gotten cold, they've gotten bolts, but it's Machine Gun and Sugu that's left alive. Machine Gun with 15 HP. Is about to be, okay, fair enough. I was going to say greeted by Fur, but Fur's not aware because he's already cleared this angle. So we make it the 1 headshot. Oh, he couldn't find it. Couldn't find the lineup. Yes, he can. Every time I say something about Machine Gun, he proves me wrong. Or it was Zilkenberg last time, but you get the point. 8-0 SK.
Another buy round for the Mongols. We have had some impressive rounds from SK, some individual moments of greatness, but they haven't really been tested just yet. Mongols a little bit out of their depth, understandably so. It's good experience, as you noted at the very start. We need to get teams like this out to Europe and give them experience playing against some of the world's best. The only way you can improve is by playing a better opposition, learning from them. 1 minute 35 here. All power for Zilkenberg. Have a look at anyone's really fragging at all. We've got 4 kills for Sugu after 8 rounds. That's top fragging now. This is looking good. The actual execution's there. Quite a nice style. It's the opening kill for them. Fallen returns it, but Molotov's down. This could be a round now for Mongols. It's looking quite good.
Jump up. NCL finally. No. Oh, I was going to say finally get a bomb down. That would be their best chance in the round, but that's denied by Fur at the last possible second. 1 digit left to be him.
Punched in?
Yeah, punched in. I was going to say imprinted into the bomb, but you don't really imprint, do you? Sugu is going to try and get in front of the bomb site. In fact, goes behind Trip. Spot out towards CT. Machine Gun comes back in. Sogu's gone extremely large in this round, but it's ColdZera versus Machine Gun in a one-on-one. Bomb still not planted. 46 seconds is the one thing that Machine Gun does have to work with as he'll grab the bomb and go for the default play. He's timid, isn't he?
One of the scariest 1v1s you can have in the game of Counter-Strike. ColdZera, full HP. You've lost track of him. And here we go.
Oh, good find from Cold. Good shot. But you're right. I would have thought he would have actually caught Cold off by being aggressive. 9-0.
Just that shake of the head. He's like, well, what can I do about that? He's just too good, isn't he? Not many people can beat ColdZera in the 1 versus 1. 9-0. That was the best chance they've had yet. First clutch. Both the star players on either side. Locking horns. Bomb planted, though. That was a shame. Third denying that was everything. And this is a very one-sided affair, but we do have guns and an AWP out. That's going to be NCL. Finding the first shot. Sugu to strike first. He takes down bolts towards the connector. That has been a point of contention for them, and now they've got the advantage as NCL makes his way in towards the A side. Fallen will be looking to stop him, but he can't do anything about that. Nice shot. Now it's a 5-on-3. Surely the first round on the board for the Mongols here. Machine Gun looking to find third. He's almost certainly going to get the kill. 4-on-2. Taco and ColdZera both on the other side of the map. Zilkenberg's coming in behind them. This is looking very promising now as Taco watches the jungle for anyone to push through. Zilkenberg behind him. I can't see a world where Mongols give this round away.
Machine Gun takes down Taco. ColdZera, meanwhile, in a 1 versus 4. If Mongols couldn't win the last one, this is their best chance by far. Cold's already denied one of the 4 players the chance of taking him down. They'll double peek. That's the way to do it. Zilkenberg gets the shot. 9-1. Mongols on the board and keeping a majority of players alive.
First round on the board. Some nice work towards that A-bomb site. Pushing in. They got the kill on bolts towards middle, and it's NCL who helped himself towards jungle. Bit of a brave move, but caught Fallen in transition. Took him down, and now they need to start stringing some rounds together. Lose this one. It's going to be a harsh reset and quite possibly the end of the game, really. You need to see like at least 3 or 4 rounds on the board to make this competitive.
For positioned inside a connector with bolts directly beside him, this time with more utility in their face. Finally, the Mongols trying to slow things down. This time the catwalk smoke as well. Thrown from close. But it'll allow Mara to try and get on the boxes. Deep smoke into cap, but not in the window. So a bit of a chance play to try and get himself the op on that angle. Fallen had gone there previously, but not in this round. Taco sits on top of the box to watch off the windows. Sogu's going to try and work off inside of the mid position as Zilkenberg takes down Taco. That should create space, but Fur's ready. Good shot. Sogu stepped up tremendously over the last 3 rounds now as NCL catches off Fallen, trying to retreat, knowing that they've lost connector. It's on to Cold once more. Mongols are adapting. Good shot, Mara, as well.
Well, here we go. 4 versus 1, looking much better here. This round won't break SK necessarily, but they are getting whittled down, you know. 7K for MongolZ. His teammates actually pretty poor, so this is a start, potentially a little bit of a comeback here for the Mongols. They will force by into the round SK, but they are showing they've got some individual skill. MongolZ managing to outduel them into the bomb site, kill by kill. They got into the round. We have a very difficult situation here for the Brazilians. 2 M4A4s, a shotgun, a UMP, bolts just on a deagle. Normally enough for this Brazilian team, but we'll see whether they can fend them off, the Mongols, that is.
For continues to work out from the underpass to try and get in behind them again, as always, as he's done so many times this game. And he is inside of the corridor to find Zilkenberg. Bomb down at the horseshoe. If he goes back the other way and tries to push out to top mid, he would discover that, but he's going to play the safe game, given that they've lost the last 2 rounds.
He's in their spawn or in the B halls every single time. This time taken by Vasugo, and it will be the 4-on-4. But damage inflicted, he goes down to 1 point of health. That's one of the rifles for SK. It's Taco to try and recover. He gets absolutely wrecked by Sugo on 1 HP. He's actually looking pretty good. They have the advantage once again.
And CL, not sure which way to look, so he'll look every way as he covers off jungle. Fallen next to be the one behind them. Still a man down on the SK side. Fallen has given up his angle. Bolt is going to get taken out from the vent, and I think that might be the round. Fallen may have done well to continue down middle. He may have been able to catch the player with the bomb in Mara, but now that bomb has made it all the way back over to A, so 2 is he. 1 HP for Sogu. Be the longest range Mag 7 shot in history if he were to hit it, even though it's just 1 HP. But this is going to be 3 in a row. 9-5 isn't out of the realm of possibilities. 9-6 even, if they can continue to keep the economy on their side, because this one, in fact, does break SK.
Yes, absolutely.
So Cold starts off well, but bomb on A, and they're already looking to try and save Fallen going back toward the B site. Cold's going to have to be somewhat careful. In fact, okay, so Fallen's got an AK, but Cold's going to have to be somewhat careful holding in checker with machine gun this far in behind him. Even if he's on top, okay. I take it back because machine gun's making noise, so Cold should spot him. I'm surprised machine gun didn't react in time. So they'll keep 2 guns at the very least.
3 in a row for the Mongols. I'd like to see at least 4. That could well happen, but Fallen saves an AK-47. They've got an M4, they'll force by into this again. Fallen will drop his AK to Firm. Scout in his hands, and Bolts and Deagle once again. Trying to just surprise them back with the 4 spies continuously here. Scout up against the AWP of Mirage.
Sogu checks out connector. Finally, they're getting map control as well and establishing territory and doing it. Remember the start of the game, no utility, no smokes. Every time they try to go toward connector, they just get ripped apart. Now they're at least getting the facets of the map that are really consequential to the overall approach of the bomb sites, inevitably at the end. Good find as well to get down Taco. No aggression from Fur this time, and he gets found immediately anyway. Yeah, I think SK might have got ahead of themselves in this game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think the most encouraging thing is, you know, even if Mongols don't win this game, they've adapted, they've slowed it down, and they've started using utility correctly.
Well, they'll get some decent notes on this, absolutely. They'll see what worked and how they managed to penetrate the defense of SK. Like, NCL has been doing some interesting stuff in the connector. He's found himself in the jungle undetected a few times now after fending the opening kill on Bolts in that area. Looking very likely to pick this round up, but that shot might guarantee it. So you're coming out of the apartments just in time as Fallen was rotating through. They'll get the bomb down here. I don't think we have much of a chance of stopping this bomb plant coming through unless the player in the CT spawn, which is Bolts, goes absolutely wild. He gets nothing done. 9-4 now. Starting to look like a pretty good game. Remember, they were 9-0 down.
MongolZ trying to fire back into the vents and stay alive, ultimately in a 1 versus 5. Yeah, this is absolutely true. They started this 9-0, and it's, again, the Mongols getting pace on them, getting mid-control, importantly, and finding trades acceptable, in fact, better than trades in most cases. And this, another save, based on the 2 guns saved previously to be a force buy. That's almost the threat mentality, right? They're baited into buying, lose, and now they're stuck with pistols again.
Yep. The loss bonus getting their 4th stage, and MongolZ could bring this back to 9-6 after being 9-0 down against SK. That is a very tall order. Machine Gun and Co will get quickly in towards middle. They saw the trajectory of that grenade. It's going to be a nice opening kill there. They're making mincemeat of the SK guys now. So that's another guaranteed frag with OHP. MongolZ 9-5. I can't believe this turnaround has come through. MongolZ hard to believe. They're getting fired up.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? Why? I mean, absolutely. This is super encouraging, and I love that it's kind of happening in a way. Not so much. Look, I think SK's got ahead of themselves for sure, but it's important for the MongolZ to take a book home from this. Like you say, if you just get blown out 16-0, it's kind of hard to learn from it. But the fact that they've learned on the fly as well is encouraging. As Silkenberg quick toward A main this time, no utility. This may be a straight contact play, and Fur once again goes aggressive. Now they know he's in Palace. Misjudged the timing. As soon as he got in the position at Tetris to know that Fur was going to be falling back, he should have held the angle with the gun. Fur gets 2 more as a result, and that in itself will end the round. But the ambition was correct. The idea was, by design, was correct. It was the Molotov pull that was his detriment. And it's NCL left in a 1 versus 5. So 10-5 looking likely, but 5 rounds in a row for MongolZ gives us something to look forward to in the second half when we get there, because this one is over.
Wow, what a comeback that was. 9-0 down, and the MongolZ give us 5 rounds. At least a competitive game to come. They win the pistol in the second half. It could be a little bit more than that. Who knows? We'll find out after the break. Do not go anywhere.
Well, it's been an interesting half. It looked like it was going to be, I guess, boring and lackluster, if I'm honest, in the fact that it was 9-0. But if there's one player that's been very surprising and was a big aspect of turning it around, remember the round before when it was 8-0? They almost won as well. It was a 1 versus 1. Sogu got 3 kills inside of the site and then went down, but he's been awesome.
He's got the highest ADR on the server right now, and they were 9-0 down. That's quite remarkable, so well done to him. This game is not done by any stretch of the imagination. If MongolZ can win this pistol, we might have a very close scoreline. It's Bolts to go in first with the PG-50. Down he goes, Machine Gun takes him. And now that was the little bit of a sell towards the A side. They're going to be committing in B, but Silkenberg gets the first frag and might even get a second here. He does indeed. He nails the headshot. This is looking very good.
Find the secondary shot behind the bench. Can't do it, though. But Zilkenberg giving him a great lag to walk on in this pistol round. 2 kills for him so far, and just 2 to find in Cold and Fallen. If they win this to go 10-5, maybe even up toward, well, okay, now with Bomb down, I would say minimum 10-7, but still, that's a remarkable achievement. As Machine and NKL are going to do exactly that. Diffuse to come in the round to the Mongols.
They've done it. It was Bolts trying to get in towards the A side, PT50 in hand. Tries to find the opening pick with decent spawn. If he gets it, his teammates explode towards B. If he doesn't, they do the same thing. He goes down, gives him the 5-on-4. They go to the B side, and Zilkenberg steps up. 2 nice USB headshots there, and they got the bomb down there, I believe. And they go for a force buy in the second round. Now, that's an interesting move, and one that could have come back to haunt them. It's Mongols who are prepared for the third round AKs. They've got 5 rifles out here, no SMGs, and this could be a chance for them to actually get the 3-0 here. We'll find out momentarily. Was this the right choice from SK Gaming? I'm not so sure.
Sugu to Sogu, to those of you playing along at home, depending on the region that you're from. Sfur takes down Machine Gun. He's going to play back toward triple and have a bit of a problem because he's the only one directly with line of sight toward the A position at this time. So if they actually went quickly on SK, that might have been enough to catch him off, but they've elected not to, and that's probably better off. The smoke towards CT likely indicates they still want to try and walk the bomb in, but he's elevated himself accordingly, and he's brought Mara back into it. Zilkenberg goes down. So too to Sogu. Good shot from Fallen. Now they've got problems.
That was nasty from Fallen. That scout shot working out very nice. It seems that the force buy was successful. Mara, the last player remaining, and they keep 4 alive. So SK, with the unorthodox approach to the force buy in the second round, get away with it. It's Fur to find the first kill. The CZ upgrades to a rifle, and the round was his. 11-6 now. Will it be the force buy in response? I would assume the answer to that question will be yes. Indeed, it will be. PT50's coming out, armor purchase. They're going right down to 0. And they give SK equal treatment here in round number 18.
Fur down toward the bottom of middle. M4 can't quite find anything toward connector. It's NKL, excuse me, NKL rather, NCL. There is an NKL.
There is.
Danish, if I'm not mistaken?
Bulgarian.
Bulgarian, that's right. Absolutely. The old G-Play team. Zilkenberg gets Taco. This is actually going all right for the Mongols. They might pull back what they lost. In fact, the machine guns also picked up at M4 certainly helps. He's only got 28 HP. They've all got armor, so that could be distributed elsewhere if they can converge somewhere on the map in which it's safe to do so. Fallen gets rid of the scout, and he's going to run up to grab the AK that's down on Cat with a Molotov to cover off anyone that was wanting to peek close. Bomb still down to the bottom and the depths of mid. Mara's done well to cover off CT. That'll force the rotation. Aside from A connector could be a problem, but aside from A connector, it pushes them all the way toward B. I'm surprised by the positioning being so aggressive there, therefore, but they'll play the retake on A. And it wouldn't surprise me, honestly, if Zilkenberg were to swing back in the underpass. That's just been checked, but as soon as they get in toward A, if he's quick enough, okay, he's going to go the other direction. I was going to say, if he's quick enough to catch them out, try to get the plant, Mara will call for this in any second.
It all comes to this point. Mara behind, only has the P250. It lets him down. Bolts finds its head, and Zilkenberg in T-spawn. Machine gun waiting in jungle. The bomb will be planted. They're both low HP. What looked like a successful attempt here with aggression and the force buy on the CT side might not be finally realized. We'll see if Zilkenberg can get anything done here. You can see Fallen's got his number and he'll take him down. Machine gun might as well save the M4 at this stage. No defuse kit, no nades, and smoked out.
I wonder if Mara, obviously he was spotted. Bolts was looking directly at him. But I wonder if he just peeked and then shoulder peeked it or kept running and stayed alive, if it would have changed anything. Just for the having one more player involved, maybe a trade potential when they walk in A main.
Well, that force bite will not work out for them. They'll be full AK in the next round. Machine gun might as well save the M4 with the low HP. Makes his way back all the way to T-spawn. Fallen's hunting him though. Presumably stop moving at this point. And Mongols will have one M4 and just let PT50s into this round. 12-6. I'd predicted 16-4. They've bested that already, and they've won the pistol in the second half. They got that 3-0. Maybe, just maybe, there was a chance of a really close game. But at this point, it feels like that's a bit of a distant reality now.
Fallen. Shot. Successful. NCL down. Behind the smoke, Machine Gun will wait to try and see if anyone will walk toward him, and he can take advantage of it with the M4 pulled over. Molotov goes behind him. He's going to try and spray early. Fortunately, they're swift to collect on that, as he'll go down immediately. So too will Mara. It's Sogu and Zilkenberg left alive. I imagine his ADR is starting to slip away at this point in time. Taco and Bolts, theirs is certainly being accumulated. Boosted. Boosted's a good word in CS these days.
Well, round number 20. And we will have Mongols with no AWP, no diffuse kit, little utility in terms of loss bonus. They are at third stage right now, so this is a really rough round for them, especially all falling with the AWP. I'm not really believing right now. Not going to be presenting any sort of aggression. It's a very default round. One to connector, two at B. One at CT steps, and heading with quite a considerable pace towards middle. It's Taco to be flashed in towards connector. He'll push the smoke and see what's available to him. It's the same position from Machine Gun he was in the previous round. It seems to be his playstyle, way behind the smoke as he takes some nade damage there. But he gets one, and Sugu will manage to actually give them the lead here. 4-on-3 now.
Bolts takes down Sugu, but it's Mara that immediately gets the kill back and therefore leaves the advantage on the Mongol side. A smoke down and yet cold and fallen. Will take up basically the wings, if you will. Cat approach to B and the connector approach to A. Neither of them elected, interestingly enough, to pick up the bomb. It was in front of Cold, and he elected to go by it. You almost wonder if that was intentional to bait them into holding the positions. And they'd have a trap set.
There is a bit of a trap with Mara at the T steps for now. MongolZ checks our window room. He hits this shot. We've got a chance in the round. He gets dinged in the process, but you can't stop him.
That's fine, though. That's going to give Fallen a bit to work with.
Yeah, it's an opening at least, and Mara needs to be very careful. He'll be a Tetris, and Fallen won't be able to stop him, or maybe he can. Drops down to Sandwich and tries to find the shot. What is that? How's he got away with it? It seemed like he was done.
If you're Mara, that sucks. You had him dead to rights, and he just happens to walk off Sandwich.
Yeah,
that's what saves him.
Drops down. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, good clutch back from SK, and it obviously shows the skill they possess to hit both Cold's quick shot and Fallen's quick peek. But yeah, that sucks for Mara. You almost feel for him.
Finds the shot, and indeed the round, 14-6. And what's the play here? We haven't had a tactical pause yet from Machine Gun and Co, but they call one now. Money's not great. They've got $3,200 pretty much per player. So can't really justify all-in purchase against a team like SK, but they're 14-6 down. They can't allow SK to have 9 match points. So I think they probably just have to go for it here. At least a partial buy. So the hype from the tail end of the first half certainly diminished now. And doesn't look like they'll purchase much at all here. They're just accepting they're going down to match point. Interesting. Oh, there's a bit of armor from NTL, last minute purchase. Let's see if they can find anything here.
Machine Gun.
Oh, that nade.
That's pretty good. MongolZ immediately gets taken down by Zilkenberg. However, Taco's ready for it. Double spray down. Takes down both Zilk and Machine as they get close. It's Sugu that's going to try and pull it back inside of the site. Can't do so. Map point beacons for SK Gaming to go 3-0 and put Mongols essentially out at 0-3. I won't say that's confirmed due to the overtime situations, but I imagine it will be.
Double AWP setup now. Last chance for the Mongols. Zilkenberg and Mara will try and do what they can against Fallen. He's on 19 kills, 8 deaths. It was a bit of an exciting comeback with the pistol in the second half as well. We thought, okay, Mongols can do this. But the force buy from SK and that first shot from Fallen in round number 22, that could be it. Mara goes down and, oh, narrowly missing out on the headshot. That's Fallen. Could have got 2 kills out of it. But third drops, and now it's up to Bolt to try and find this player who's lurking around the shadow area. Can't do it. We might have a few more to go. Taco gets one back, and Zilkenberg knows his player towards top and middle. He had to hit that shot, though. That was a bit of a sitter, considering he spotted him before. Just had to re-aim and even pre-fire it. He would have got the kill, but couldn't connect. 1 minute 15 now, and we'll see if this 3-on-3 can be converted to some sort of success for the Mongols and start their long-winded campaign towards overtime.
Flash popped. NCL swings. Taco hits the shot instead, and it's down to just Sogu and Zilkenberg. Zilkenberg's been a player that I've enjoyed watching pretty much every time we've seen them. He's a little quieter today, but Sogu's certainly stepped up. 17 kills. He's been phenomenal. That said, Sogu has the M4. And he's going to try and walk back out from CT as he looks toward Connector. Fallen, meanwhile, is the one that's down below on 14 HP. He hasn't spotted him, but he's wise to know that it's multiple angles by which he could be taken down, so he doesn't want to peek too soon. He has the information now. Unfortunately, look at the spread. The CT's elected to play as far apart as possible on the map. So he's got to do this all alone. He's done successfully in the past in doing so, but I think it's a bit too far gone. Taco doesn't want to play it toward default behind Triple. In fact, just changes the angle ever so slightly to avoid the spray. That's when Cold attacks, and it's Zilkenberg left in a 1 versus 3, and I think we're done. We are. Cold will confirm.
A little bit better than I expected. They got 6 rounds to work with there, but unfortunately, that little comeback they had doesn't really find them much more in the second half. They won the pistol. Force Buy comes in. It's the #1 team in the world doing what they do best, and that's winning. We'll throw it over to the analysts and get their thoughts.
The GoDaddy post-match breakdown.
Thanks so much, guys. Yes, MongolZ unable to put a single win on the board so far in our first day here for the Oakland group stages. I don't think anyone is completely, you know, blown away by that.
No.
These guys were painted as an underdog for a reason. And yet we got to see a couple of glimmers of them making SK sweat. It felt like all of those kind of 2v2, 3v3s was where SK kind of, gave them a lesson. Taught them some Counter-Strike. I'm trying to think of appropriate terminology.
I think the fact that they were able to adjust, or maybe it was SK getting complacent, it really depends on how you look at it, but the fact they were able to string 5 rounds together there in that first half after just being absolutely beaten, I think that's a positive sign. That's one of the hardest things to do in Counter-Strike, is make the appropriate adjustments to win rounds. Now, when you're playing a team like SK, sure, maybe they were starting to over-peak a little bit when you're 9-0 up and you're looking at these guys like the underdog. It's always good to keep the foot on the throat and like actually, you know, play a disrespectful brand of Counter-Strike, especially if they don't make you respect them. They don't make you play the standard CS.
And that's actually something that we often talk about, Chad.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jordan, we don't get to often talk with you about it. What do you kind of think about this idea of when there's a clear favorite in a game of Counter-Strike, that they have to earn the respect of their opponent before you play standard CS? Is that something that you've encountered before? Is that something that is it a reality?
It can be. I guess on certain maps, there's more options to be more dynamic on CT, like Mirage, right? Like if you're not careful of like a mid push, for might just walk up mid round. So I think it's more having like a sound default, right? Because then there's no desperation involved in structure, right? But I think it's for these teams who they can't actually picture themselves winning a round versus SK. Like they don't know, like you're doing a default on Mirage, but like Cold is holding Cat, Fallen's holding Triple, like they're terrifying in your mind. You as a player have the same thing. Like you can't win a round unless you could picture winning the round. Okay, we're going to take mid control. We're going to push Cold Zero off Cat. Then we're going to be able to go back late A because they don't have info for in ladder. And that's what Counter-Strike is. And I think what happens sometimes to people that don't have that respect factor is they think they need to do more. And I think that's why it's interesting watching teams like the MongolZ. It was interesting watching the Renegades before you guys came to USA. And I was actually just talking to Chad. There was one phase where your team hit a point where you realized that the top teams weren't necessarily doing something profoundly special compared to what you were doing. Maybe a combination of little things. And that's why I remember you really put in a gear to kind of get your guys' fundamentals down. And now there's obviously a lot of other factors that went into results. But I remember you having that realization yourself and like, hey, we just literally have to have a structure that is smart. Like it can't be this crazy strat. What's funny is we tend to find a lot of strategies from these teams in that middle ground because they get, I don't know if you want to use the word desperate, but I think they try to compensate for having that foundation. So they come up with unique things. Like I think from MongolZ, actually, no, it was, what's the other team that was making a splash recently? Tyloo on Mirage. We took like 2 strats from Tyloo because they did have these very powerful fast A fake Cat splits on Mirage because that's what they rely on.
So the way that I kind of brand that is more of a gimmick in the sense of it's a great way to springboard yourself into the game, right? It's a good way to set the pace early. Maybe is a really good first gun round.
It's not going to win you games.
Something the flip side does well because their executes are very, methodical in their approach. The Molotovs are perfect, the smokes are perfect, and they can use that and then base it off as the game goes on. And you can cheat the way of not having the fundamentals down and the mid-round reactions down if you can just run and base your game off of executes.
So pro teams, tier 1 teams, go shopping for strats from the kind of tier 2, tier 3.
Totally. Well,
I hadn't even considered that.
You just kind of see something happen sometimes too. You'll be sitting right here watching another match, and you'll see Mongols do something. They go, "Wow, that would work." They're just using the wrong context. So it is weird how, you create these strats and you don't realize that they're actually really powerful strats. But when you use them at the wrong time, they don't add anything to the half, right?
Is that something you learned, Chad, when you were going through your development? I mean, kind of Jordan's painted a nice picture of your you went through different phases of being integrated into NA and then trying to battle out in the main event.
Going from Vox to Renegades, when we had that Gfinity event and we had a good performance, everyone was on point individually, which was a bonus. But the strats we were running, teams weren't ready for and hadn't seen before. So there was the shell shock factor there. And then we played a very, aggressive, confident style of CS on the CT side, which
catching people on their heels,
difficult to deal with, and we were dictating, and that was something which you had to learn, and then you get the structure and you build from there as you go on.
Absolutely. Well, the one shining light of all of this for the Mongols is, of course, one of their players had a ball terror, as you would say, Chad. Yeah, Sogu. I don't want to butcher it, but there it is. You can see 100 ADR, close to the highest ADR on the server when you're playing against SK, and when you're 10-0 down or however bleak it did get for them. So that's going to be something for him to be proud of, and see if they can translate that into a map victory. We'll find out. One of the players, though, that we do have standing by from SK is Taco. He's hanging out with Trace, and we get to hear what his thoughts are after what was a relatively easy win for the SK Gaming guys.
All right, there it is. That was what I was looking for. The little birdie in my ear telling me that we can get this bad boy started. Now, look, SK coming out 3-0, topping the Mongols to make that happen. Let's just kind of look back at your entire day. Shall we do that? You start out with Envious in what goes the full distance. Is that tiresome on you guys?
The match against Envious, the beginning of the match was so weird for us because we were playing like Tyrant, not Tyrant, but like I said before, the last 2 weeks we didn't practice properly. You know what I mean? So against NIP was an insane comeback. I think it was a normal thing for SK.
I'm pretty sure at that point, like NIP had it in the bag at some point, right? And then you guys do what I like to coin Braziliancy. It's like resilient, but Braziliancy, right? Anyway, you guys are able to battle back there, and then that it just tears on you all day. Where do you guys stand now?
What, can you repeat, sorry?
Like, was it tiresome going through those motions?
Oh, I really think that we just have to go to the hostel right now. I have to go to the hostel, take a shower, drink some Mountain Dew.
Some Mountain Dew, that's right, Mountain Dew. Well, congratulations, you guys are going onward. What is there one thing you would say about the Mongols now having faced them?
They started playing... The beginning of the match for them was really hard. We were playing really well, and then they started doing really aggressive things. I think playing aggressive is a good thing for them because they are really skilled. But sometimes I feel like they don't know how to use this kind of aggression. And at least in the middle of the match when we were playing ICT, they did it really well. They were playing aggressive. I was doing fast things, and it was working. I'm pretty sure that they have the potential. They have to work really hard. They have to create a style that fits good in the team. And I'm pretty sure that to the next tournaments they will be back stronger.
Finding that scrimmy style that works and applying it appropriately. Either way, we're going to be giving it back to the Xfinity analyst desk with my main man, Machine.
Thank you so much, Stunner. Yes, indeed, we do see Taco giving some words of positivity and almost mirroring what you guys here at the panel were saying about Mongols, and a whole lot of hard work ahead of them, but potential seems to be our summary here.
It's just difficult when you're in. I've been part of that, right? Where you're stuck in a scene where you don't have a lot of good teams to practice against. It's very difficult to get out of that, right? It's very difficult, and this is why you're going to see different brands of Counter-Strike coming out from them. The cool thing we had in Asian CS, and you remember this in 1.6, was the likes of Tyloo, the Astros, all those kind of guys. Yeah. They played like a very unique brand of CS, catching teams off guard, tournament to tournament.
You know what's interesting to me about that is when you are in that position, when you are not in you're not in Europe or basically Europe.
Yep.
You're fighting two battles, and one's kind of invisible. One is that mindset that all 5 players actually believe you could win, not because they're like, guys, hey, we could do it. I have better aim than Cold Deer. Well, that's when you hear a team do that, you almost like that those guys are going to lose. Like from your experience, you watch them, like, okay, those are the guys. Because there are a lot. In NA, we see them all the time. The ranked S players are really good. But if they were to put together a team and they go, and guys, if we believe we could do it, it's like, okay, you could believe. But if you don't want to take mid control on Mirage, your belief doesn't. So it's those two battles. One, having that structure in game, like you're saying. And then two, believing in that structure. Because at a high level, you can all be playing the same game, but it's those small decisions that you make. So if you don't even give yourself a chance to be able to make decisions that actually have an impact, you're left in this whole desperation world of, hey, hopefully, you know, Chad wins 1v4, hopefully I win 1v3, reset him, win eco, win this. Oh yeah, we beat SK, we deserved it. It's like, well, you guys you're all over the place. You won 16-14 with 5 gimmick strats or something. And so that's not to take away from the team who does that, but in your own minds, you got to know that wasn't repeatable or whatever, right? And
you have to add context to your highs and your lows.
That invisible battle is a tough one, right? Because where does your confidence then come from?
Well, I mean, we'll explore that, actually. We're going to be taking a break. First, we're going to bring up those standings, and then we're going to have a nice little kind of midday, kind of not wrap-up, but summary of what we've seen so far here for the Intel Extreme Masters Day 1 for Oakland. We can see SK now very comfortable at the top of their group. That win versus Mongols puts them 3-0. Cloud9 as well, undefeated. We'll be seeing more from them a little later on. Envy are currently locked into a battle versus Astralis. That's happening right now on the B stream.
Astralis are winning.
Do you have the score hand?
No, I can just tell because they're cheering a lot.
Ah, okay.
So they're right there behind that curtain.
And then SK got the overtime win, right? So the points. So that means they Envy.
Yes, correct.
They're on 8 points. SK have 8 points right now.
Yeah, so the third place spot's still viable.
It's gonna
get Astralis, rather.
It's gonna get spicy for Astralis. They need this win to continue to contend for top 3. Absolutely. We're gonna go ahead and take a break, guys. When we do come back, though, we're gonna be talking all about the entirety of Group A, and then we'll be kind of heading and venturing into Group B. Join us after the break.